weekend, and well, what a game! What a game to end the weekend. It's Manchester United against Liverpool. Oh yes, the two biggest English clubs meeting again in the FA Cup, and I'm delighted to say I've been joined by the lovely Sophie Richards. How are you, Sophie?
I'm very well, thank you, Doug. Thanks for having me on. I hope you're doing good too.
I'm doing very, very well. Yes, Manchester United against Liverpool yet again, FA Cup. How are you feeling about it?
I think my face is a lot less enthusiastic than yours is to do with this, to be honest with you. Look, it's the magic of the FA Cup, you always say. And I know it's cliche, but you often say form goes out the window. Obviously, Liverpool will be a lot more confident going into this fixture on current form. But it's one of them games where, for us, we haven't got a lot to play for this season, realistically. This is a chance for us to win another trophy under Ten Hag. And for you guys, obviously, you want to win everything before Klopp goes. So I think it's going to be a really interesting one. Both teams not going to be taking it lightly.
No.
Both teams obviously have got a few injuries and whatnot as well. So I think it'll be a really interesting one. I'm glad it's at Old Trafford because I know the record at Old Trafford is slightly more favourable. However, I was sat there in the league when we lost 5-0 to you guys. So I'm not saying too favourable, but in the FA Cup, you never know. There's the magic of the cup, and I'm just hoping we get a bit of magic on Sunday.
Yeah, well, if people are obviously watching this, I do actually have something to say that Liverpool have never beaten Manchester United at Old Trafford in the FA Cup. They have actually lost 10 times against Manchester United in the FA Cup, more than any other opponent. And basically, this is the most played fixture in the FA Cup. Only Everton against Liverpool, with 18 games, is the record. But I have to say, this game I think this is probably do or die for Manchester United, if I'm being honest, because if you lose this, your season's basically over, isn't it?
Definitely is. Obviously, we've had a few injuries, but I know in the press conference, Ten Hag has said a few players should be coming back, which is encouraging. Obviously, like Maguire, Wan-Bissaka, Hojlund, Mason Mount's been in training all week as well, which is a positive sign because I think a lot of people have forgotten that we even signed Mason Mount, to be honest with you. We have had a lot of injuries, so getting those players back, I think, does give us a bit of a boost. Whether Hojlund is fit enough to start, we'll see. But I think even having him in the squad is a big bolster for us because we know that we haven't scored enough goals this season at all. But having him there, definitely, he was flying just before he picked up that little knock. And I'm just hoping he can kind of continue where he left off, really. And he just gives us a different option going forwards. Rashford, we know, can't play as a 9. That's just not his game. So I feel like having Hojlund there just gives us a different dynamic. So, yeah, like you say, our season's over. Like, we've all or nothing in this game. We can't be holding back. And I'm sick of seeing us going into games like we saw it against City a few weeks ago where we just defend and we try and play on the counter-attack. I want to go in at Liverpool. I want to see a confident United. And I want to see us playing like a team who need to win. Not a team who doesn't want to lose, a team who need to win. That's what I want to see from United on Sunday. I want us to be brave.
Yeah, I think a lot of people said in the fixture back in December. Look, I think United deserved the point. I don't think we were quite at it that day. And actually, I think United had the better of the opportunities. But is there a feeling in and amongst United fans that this could be Ten Hag's last season? Because of obviously Ineos going in there. There is a lot of speculation about the manager's future. Where do you think Ten Hag is going to be next season?
There's always speculation about the Man United manager's position, especially with the way that this current team plays. But you know me, I'll always back the manager, and I always do, and I always continue to. But there has been times this season where he's made questionable changes, without a doubt, or he's started certain players, and it seems unfavourable. He's fell out with certain players, as we know. There's definitely a lot of question marks there. But at the same time, I feel a bit for him because you look at the injuries that we've had as well. I've already mentioned it, like some big players we've lost out on this season as well. There's a lot of signings that I think Ten Hag has made, and they're a bit questionable. Like Amrabat coming in hasn't really worked. Regulon being sent back, and now we haven't got a left back. So there's a lot of questionable things. I'm not saying it's all on Ten Hag's shoulders because we know that decisions are made elsewhere as well. But the fan base is very split on him. I think if Sunday's result is we get absolutely annihilated by Liverpool, I'll worry for him. Obviously, we've seen it many times against Liverpool previously where we've conceded a lot of goals and we don't want that to happen again, especially in a must-win game for us where we've got nothing else to play for this season. But it's one of them, like, if we get battered, Ten Hag's in trouble. If we beat Liverpool, then again, the people will be feeling positive. So I think it's very flippant, isn't it? We know the fan base is very fickle. It just is. Every football fan is fickle. But for me, I'm very split. I think if we win another trophy this season, Ten Hag stays. If we don't, then I think possibly he could go. Simply because of the reasons that I said. There's been signings that haven't worked. A lot of question marks over some of the changes he's made as well. Like player disarray, like certain places falling out with and whatnot. And I think if there's nothing else to play for this season, true colours will come out of certain players, and that's why I think at the end of the season they'll be in trouble. But if we win a trophy or we've got a trophy to play for, then there's still a bit of an incentive there for the players. And for me, like the players always throw the manager under the bus. There's certain players in this team who we've had this conversation many times, Doug, but their mentality simply isn't there. And that's why I feel for Tim, but ultimately the responsibility falls on his shoulders. So yeah, I think this game is crucial, really, for Ten Hag. I think if we win, like I say, he can win certain fans over again. If we get absolutely annihilated, then I do worry for him, because we've seen far too many times us getting absolutely battered by Liverpool. We don't want that at home against them in the FA Cup, the only trophy we can realistically win this season. So, yeah. I'm very split on it, like the rest of the fan base, I think. I want it to work out for him and I want him to stay. But I do think this game is pivotal, really, on Sunday.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, the decision of Jurgen Klopp leaving Liverpool, I think, came as a shock to everybody. I'm pretty sure every Manchester United fan would be pleased to see him go, especially what he's done in English football. What was your reaction to the news when it came out?
You know what? Pleased, yeah. But on the other hand, I'm thinking, oh crap, that means they're going to try and win everything this season for him now, that they're going to have a blinder, and it's turning out that way, isn't it? I think it's a bit of both, really. Obviously, Klopp has been amazing for you guys. I'm sure, like, obviously, we felt about Fergie. I know a lot of Liverpool fans feel that way about Klopp. I do feel like, I don't know, kind of feel like maybe it is the right time for him. I say that before this season. This season, obviously, he's perked up again, because obviously it's that bounce, really, of wanting to win everything for him. But I don't know, it felt like it was fizzling a little bit. Like Salah and Mane obviously going, I don't know, I feel like that kind of phase is kind of fizzing out now for Liverpool. I don't know if you feel as a Liverpool fan, but that's how it looks from the outside. Seems like a transition period for Liverpool at the moment. And obviously the manager is ahead of that. So I can understand it on one hand, but on the other hand, like I was thinking, oh no, there's going to be repercussions here where Liverpool are going to step up and try and win everything for him. It makes it exciting, obviously, for the league and whatnot now as well. But let's just hope you don't win the quadruple, because I want us to get through on Sunday. That's all I'm going to say. I would like us to put an end to that dream. That would be nice.
I'll be honest, I don't think we're going to win 4. I think the Europa League, I think we're probably favourites alongside probably Bayer Leverkusen and AC Milan, probably there. Obviously, League Cup's wrapped up. Premier League's going to be very, very tricky, I think, with the, obviously, Thursday, Sunday. But obviously, Champions League as well, with obviously City and Arsenal. I'll be honest, I never envisaged us to be in a title race. I'll be honest. I said at the start of the season, and I continue what I say by, I wanted the top 4 finish. I wanted a Europa League triumph or something like that. Maybe a League Cup or an FA Cup. To be in 4 competitions at this stage of the season, I think any Liverpool fan would have bitten your hand off. And I think as well, the game against Manchester United earlier in the season, I think a lot of Liverpool fans were a bit like, well, we did draw 0-0, but I don't think they kind of expected the way the form book is kind of, you guys had a really, really bad run in sort of January, and then we've had a really, really good run. But as we say, form goes out the window as well. What's your favourite sort of memory for Manchester United games in the FA Cup?
There's so many. It's hard to choose one, to be fair. It's hard to choose one. In recent times, obviously, I'm trying to think. There's so many. Lingard's goal stands out to me, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
That kind of hit on the rebound, like, that's a recent memory for me. That was a highlight. That was at the time where you thought, Jesse Lingard's smashing it, and they look at him and you think, kind of what happened to him, it's a shame. But yeah, I think in recent times I remember my feeling for that goal and just being like getting like just jubilation, really, because we haven't won a lot recently, obviously. So seeing Lingard score that goal, I'd probably go for that. Obviously, you've got the classics like Giggs and whatnot, but in recent times, I'm going to say that just because it's hard to choose in recent times, really. But that was a standout moment for me. Jesse Lingard's goal at Wembley, when he kind of just, it was like an instinct, wasn't it? He kind of just smashed it, and So I'll probably go with that one.
Yeah, I think there's been a few down the years.
I'm just going for the one that instantly came into my mind, and it was that goal. And I'm just thinking, like, taking it back to my emotions at the time. I just remember like being just like buzzing with that goal. And just it was just like a shock. Like I wasn't expecting it to go in because he just kind of hit it on the instinct. So yeah, I'm going to say in recent times that.
There's been some very, very good ties down years. Obviously, the last game between the sides, I think, was 12. It was when COVID season was on, and I think it was a 3-2 win. I think Fernandes scored
Bruno scored
the
free
winner,
kick, didn't he?
Yeah, so that was obviously the last FA Cup tie. But yeah, I reckon Old Trafford really, really poor against you guys at Anfield. I reckon the FA Cup is not too bad. So I'm expecting a really, really close game on Sunday. How do you think United will line up on Sunday, Soph?
It all depends on how fit Hojlund is, to be honest with you. It's hard because I'm saying, for me, I'd play him. If he's fit enough to be on the bench, he's fit enough to play, because this game is massive to us. It's not like, it's a cup game, we don't want to risk it. We need to, if we go out tomorrow, like, what else are we playing for? Do you know what I mean? So for me, if he's available, put Hojlund in. So obviously Onana in goal. The fullback, like left back position, just is so worrying to me. Diogo's been playing there, so I think he'd probably go with that. Lindelof again at fullback as well. Probably. Then they go Varane. I know Maguire supposedly can be fit. Wan-Bissaka could be fit, but again, he's been out for a long time. He's going to put him straight in. If Wan-Bissaka's fit, you know what? Sorry, I'm going to go for the strongest 11 that either fit we can put out. Wan-Bissaka, right back. Diogo, left back. Varane, Maguire, centre backs. Mainu, Casemiro. McTominay again. Bruno, maybe. It's so hard. I'm trying to name it. No, sorry, sub McTominay off. So we're going to go Mainu, Casemiro, Bruno. Then I'm going to go Garnacho, Rashford, Hojlund through the middle. That's fingers crossed that they're fit. If they're not fit, Hojlund out, obviously McTominay I think will start. And then Rashford, and I think he'd probably start Anthony.
Interesting. Kobbie Mainoo. Now, I've got to say, when he played at Anfield, I thought he was the best player on the pitch. I thought he showed a charisma of obviously almost playing like a veteran. He was absolutely magnificent. He hasn't made the England squad this time. Do you think there is a chance that he could push his way into Gareth Southgate's thinking for the Euros?
I mean, he was talking about him with Southgate, and he said he rated him. He said he's only had a few games. Jordan Henderson makes it by running to the corner flag and making a block. Like, I don't even understand the Henderson selection. Finally, he's got Calvin Phillips, which I think has been a long time coming.
Yes.
But yeah, I hope so. But Southgate he plays it safe, doesn't he? He doesn't seem to make too many wild calls. So yeah, I don't know. I hope he can make it. I think if he continues his form, he's got to be in the mindset of Southgate. For me, that goal against Wolves, that's when I really thought, this kid's got it. Do you know what I mean? That was when it hit home for me. Obviously, I've seen in flashes, I think, I really like him, but we know United fans, football fans in general, they're overhype kids. We do it all the time. So I was thinking, I like him, he's a good player, but I'm not getting carried away. But that goal at Wolves, that was the moment where it clicked for me, and I thought, no, he's special. So yeah, I hope so, but Southgate likes to play it safe, so we'll see.
And always a nice mention to your dad, because I know he's a big Wolves supporter. It'll always be a nice way to get one over
together. We were watching it together. I always remember. I remember we were actually having a bit of an argument because of the Neto penalty, and he was trying to say that he didn't dive, and I was like, he blatantly dived, and no, there's contact. I went, it's gone down like he's been shot. He dived, and we were in the middle of arguing, and I was like, you cheats and whatnot, and we were literally at each other, and then Mainu did that, and he was just like, good goal, just shocked, and I was just jumped up screen buzzing. So yeah, that was a really funny moment watching it together, because we were literally we're arguing over the penalty, and then Mainu did that.
Yeah, but I have to agree about Gareth Southgate, because I think Kobbie Mainoo should be there. I don't understand the Jordan Henderson selection, never will. I'm glad he's dropped Calvin Phillips, because just showing that he kind of had his favourites, and then Calvin Phillips was one of his favourites. But yeah, there's still a couple of players in that team. You're like, well, why did you pick them?
Maguire, to be fair, like I know he's been very good for England, but he's been injured a lot lately, and he's still got a
Hmm.
call up. So, but then again, I agree with Gordon being called up. I think he's earned that. He deserves that. Brent as well. I think he's been very good at
Yeah,
Everton. So yes, made a few changes. Maybe he's starting to edge towards going through a few changes, and we'll see if Mainu can break into the next one. But for now, for me, he just needs to keep his head down. Mainu, it won't hurt him to focus just on United, not get too ahead of himself. I think that's what makes him. That's what sets him apart. Is that he still seems so grounded. Like you say, he's
yeah,
so mature in the way that he plays, and the last thing we want is him to get ahead of himself. So I reiterate him, but I'm not too disappointed that he's not been called up this time. But for the Euros, it would be so nice and refreshing to see someone like him make it.
yeah, absolutely. As far as we're concerned, I know Gravenberch is coming back. I think that's massive. Apparently, Jota, Curtis Jones are going to be back after the international break, which is absolutely massive. No talk about Alisson yet, so obviously the star man will obviously be Caoimhin Kelleher as well. If it came down to penalties, now I know I know I have to say this because obviously they've obviously taken away replays and obviously the quarterfinals and obviously semi-finals. How confident would you be getting through on penalties?
Is anyone ever confident on penalties? I don't even know. I think it's kind of just close your eyes and just pray. Um,
Yeah,
it's just penalties is
the
the
toss of
coolest
a
way.
coin, isn't it?
It is. It's a look on the day, basically. It's a look on the day. We've had joyous times penalties. We've had terrible times penalties. Think like the Europa League and whatnot. So who knows, Doug? Who knows? I think
Mm,
if it's gone all the way to penalties, us being at home, does that have a bit of an advantage? Maybe. That's the
mm,
only way I can think of it. But I think, and obviously, not, I think Alisson will give you a bit more confidence if you had Alisson in goal as well.
yeah,
Um, and I think our players may see that as a bit of an advantage not having Alisson there. But Kelleher is obviously a very good keeper as well, so I'm not discrediting him. I'm just saying, as from a mindset point of view, if you've got
yeah.
Alisson stood in front of you, it's probably a bit more intimidating. So maybe that will make a difference. Who knows?
Yeah, Kelleher has been outstanding since
Yeah,
Alisson got injured, and as well he's actually won more penalty shootouts than any other Liverpool goalkeeper, which is absolutely
really,
crazy
that's
when
crazy.
you think about it.
Didn't know
Yeah,
that. So again, maybe he won't be less
so
intimidating,
he
and
might.
maybe
Yeah,
yeah,
I think he's won 4 penalty shootouts as a Liverpool goalkeeper, which is
no way. Didn't know
crazy
that.
when you think of like how many times he has actually started for Liverpool. I'm going to be honest. I don't think there'll be as much changes as many people think. I think it's going to be Kelleher will start in goal. Konate not in training, so he's not going to be fit. I don't think. Connor Bradley, I think, will continue at right back.
I
He's
think
been
he's a really
fabulous
good
as
player.
well.
Really good player.
I think it'll be. Oh, no. This is the difficult one because Gerald Kwanzaa has been magnificent since he's came in. Joe Gomez has been magnificent since he came in. So I actually think Kwanzaa will start with Van Dijk at the back. I actually think Joe Gomez at left back
Yeah.
because I think Andy Robertson's been sort of slowly eased back in. So I think Joe Gomez will play at left back. Midfield three, going to go Endo, who again has shown a lot of people up. I think a lot of people kind of said at the start when we got him, as James Milner replacement, but my goodness me, you can't be a bad player overnight if you're the Japanese captain.
I think it
As
was
well.
because the whole Placido,
Yeah,
obviously that whole scandal, wasn't it? And then all of a sudden you went and signed him. I think a lot of people saying, "Oh, you've kind of downgraded," but no, fair play to him. He's come in and obviously proved his worth. But I think that's why a lot of people were judging that signing, weren't they?
yeah. So Endo, I think McAllister will start as well. Szoboszlai, I think, will probably start as well. Or it could be Harvey Elliott actually. No, actually, I'm gonna go Harvey Elliott. I think Harvey Elliott will start this one because he did come off the bench against Sparta Prague the other night, and then I think it will be Diaz, Nunes, and Salah up front. I think you've got to start those three as well. Start your big guns as well. And obviously, it's international break after this game as well. Right, I'm going to put you on the spot here. Score prediction.
I'm hoping that the omen of it being at Old Trafford in the FA Cup goes in, it continues. So I think it'll be a tight game. I actually hope it's going to be a proper cup tie, end to
Yeah,
end, what we all want to see. So a lot of goals, and I'm going to go with a sim. I was thinking 3-2, but we're not really scoring that many goals at the minute, so I'm going to say 2-1. Yeah, I'm going to say 2-1 to us. Just edge it. A late winner would be lovely. A Maguire header or something like just at the end. But I think it's going to be tight. I think it's going to be one of them games where we're going to have to ride our luck a little bit. You'll have most of the ball. And it's just about us being able to take our chances when we get them, really. Like you're saying, when we played you recently, we had the better chances. I'm just
yeah.
hoping we can kind of create again. And if one of them falls to Hojlund in the form that he has been in before his injury, I'm just hoping that we can take those chances. So just edge it 2-1. Tight game, nervy game. That's what I'm hoping for. A Hojlund goal, and like I say, a Harry Maguire winner at the end would be lovely.
Yeah, it's going to be very, very interesting. I mean, I would obviously like us to see us win, but that sort of that omen about never winning at Old Trafford is kind of egging me on a little bit. I am actually going to say I think this will be 2-2. I think it will go to extra. Yeah, I think it'll go to extra time. Does it go to penalties?
I think if it goes to extra time, I'm worried though, because if you look at what you can bring off the bench compared to what we can bring off the bench, we've got nothing really. So we haven't got any impact as such, unless someone like Ahmad's going to come on and just take us by storm. But Ten Hag doesn't seem to trust him. So I just don't think we have a lot off the bench. I feel like your bench probably. So I do worry at that point.
Yeah, I'll go 2-2. I am going to say it goes to penalties, and I would be more confident in us because we've got Kelleher. I think the fact that we've got Kelleher, I think we might sneak through. I'm going to go us on penalties, but I am never confident going to Old Trafford. I've seen lots of people say this week, "Oh, Liverpool."
We're never confident going to Old Trafford nowadays, Doug. We're never confident at Old Trafford. That's the general feeling.
No, but yeah, it's going to be a fascinating game on Sunday, and we'll need to wait and see what will happen. But yeah, can United stop Liverpool's quadruple? I'll be honest, I still don't see us winning 4 trophies, but you never know. You never know with this kind of game.
After Sunday, that's a definite no. Let's hope.
Sophie, thank you very much for joining me. I really do appreciate it. It's always good to get you back on, especially as people are not aware. This is our first sort of wee video doing a previous appearance as well. How has it felt being a parent?
I'm absolutely loving life, to be honest. I'm loving it. I'm still trying to get to watch United and be a United fan when she grows up. She's got a United shirt hanging up. I'm sat in her room at the moment, actually in a nursery. But yeah, no, I'm absolutely loving it, to be honest with you. Obviously, it has meant that I haven't been on YouTube, and this has been refreshing to come and talk today. And I will be back at some point. I promise everybody I will be back. It's just at the minute it's so hard, and I'm sure you understand, Doug. I'll put her down for a nap and I'll think, all right, I'll get a video in. She wakes up. So it's a bit unpredictable. I can't get the time to do it. But I promise you, I will be back and do more content and whatnot. Because I do miss talking to everybody, and it's been nice to have a chat. So hopefully, Doug, we can do some more content soon as well. But yeah, I'm loving it. How are you finding parent life?
I'm loving every minute of it. I'm like you. I want to do videos, but yeah, Nathan will wake up and I'll be like, yeah, basically just
no look.
I'm kind of just sort of being sporadically about things. Like I'm not as sort of engrossed in YouTube like I used to be. So doing a chat like this is very, very good, because basically we get enough time. We get enough time to talk as well. But it's been a pleasure having you on the show. If you have watched it on playback as well, or when this is going out as well, please leave us your thoughts ahead of this game. And yeah, Manchester United Liverpool, always a great game. But who will triumph? Will it be Ten Hag's Reds, or will Klopp's Reds go through and continue their quadruple request? Well, we will see what happens. Anyway, goodbye from the both of us.